Okay, January 23rd, Genesis 46, 1 through 47:31. So Israel took his journey with all that he had and came to Beersheba and offered sacrifices to the God of his father Isaac. Then God spoke to Israel in the visions of the night and said to Jacob, Jacob, he said, Here I am. He said, I am God, the God of your father. Do not fear to go down to Egypt, for I will make you a great nation there. I will go down with you to Egypt, and I will also surely bring you up again. And Joseph will put his hand on your eyes. Then Jacob arose from Beersheba, and the sons of Israel carried their father, Jacob, their little ones, and their wives in the carts which Pharaoh had sent to carry them. Yeah. So they took their livestock and their goods which they had acquired in the land of Canaan, and went to Egypt. Jacob and all of his descendants with him, his sons and his sons' sons, and his daughters and his sons' daughters, and all the descendants he brought with him from Egypt to Egypt. Now these were the names of the children of Israel: Jacob and his sons who went to Egypt. Reuben was Jacob's firstborn. The sons of Reuben were Hanach, Palu, Hezron, and Carmi. The sons of Simeon were Jamil, Jamin, Ohan, Jacrin, Zohar, Shaul, and the son of the Canaanite woman. The sons of Levi were Gershon, Kohath, and Meriah. The sons of Judah were Onan, Shelah, Perez, and Sarah. Not But and Onah died in the land of Canaan. The sons of Perez were Hezon and Hamul. The sons of Issachar were Tool, Pavul, Job, and Shimron. The sons of Zebulun were Shered, Elon, and Jaireel. The sons of These were the sons of Leah, who she bore to Jacob in Padan Aram, with his daughter Dinah. All the persons, his sons and his daughters, were 33. The sons of Gad were Ziphon, Haggai, Shaul, Esbon, Eri, Arani, and Ariel. The sons of Asher were Jaman, Hishu, Ishu, Barai, and Shariah, their sister. The sons of Bariah were Eber and Machali. These were the sons of Zilpha, whom Laban gave to Leah his daughter, and these she bore to Jacob, 16 persons. The sons of Rachel, Jacob's wife, were Joseph and Benjamin. And to Joseph in the land of Egypt were born Manasseh and Ephraim, who Esra, the daughter of Potipharah, the priest of On, bore to him. The sons of Benjamin were Bela, Barar, Ashbel, Gerar, Naaman, Ish, Rosh, Muppim, Hippam, and Arad. These were the sons of Rachel who were born to Jacob, 14 persons in all. The son of Dan was Hisham. The sons of Naphtali were Jezreel, Gunai, Jazir, and Shiliam. These were the sons of Bela, who Laban gave to Rachel, his daughter, and she bore these to Jacob, seven persons in all. All the persons who went with Jacob to Egypt, who came from his body, besides Jacob's sons' wives, were 66 persons in all. And the sons of Joseph, who were born to him in Egypt, were two persons. And all the persons in the house of Jacob who went to Egypt were 70. Then he sent Judah before him to Joseph to point out before him the way to Goshen. And they came to the land of Goshen. So Joseph made ready his chariot and went up to Goshen to meet his father Israel. And he presented himself to him and fell on his neck and wept on the neck a good while. And Israel said to Joseph, Now let me die, since I have seen your face, because you are still alive. Then Joseph said to his brothers and to his father's household, I will go up and tell Pharaoh and say to him, My brothers and those of my father's house who are in the land of Canaan have come to me, and the men are shepherds, for their occupation has been to feed livestock, and they have brought their flocks, their herds, and all that they have. So it shall be when Pharaoh calls to you, What is your occupation? That you say, Your servant's occupation has been with livestock from our youth, even till now. both we and also our fathers, that you may dwell in the land of Goshen, for every shepherd is an abomination to the Egyptians. Then Joseph went and told Pharaoh, and he said, my father and my brothers, their flocks and their herds, and all they possess have come from the land of Canaan, and indeed they are in the land of Goshen. He he took 5 men from among his brothers and presented them to Pharaoh. Then Pharaoh said to the brothers, what is your occupation? And they said to Pharaoh, your servants are shepherds, both we and also our fathers. And they said to Pharaoh, we have come to dwell in the land because your servants have no pasture for their flocks. For the famine is severe in the land of Canaan. Now, therefore, let your servants dwell in the land of Goshen. Then Pharaoh spoke to Joseph, saying, your father and your brothers have come to you. The land of Egypt is before you. Have your father and your brothers dwell in the best land. Let them dwell in the land of Goshen. And if you know any competent men among them, then make them chief herdsmen over my livestock. And Joseph brought in his father Jacob and set him before Pharaoh. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh. Pharaoh said to Jacob, how old are you? And Jacob said to Pharaoh, the days of my years of my pilgrimage are 130 years. Few and evil have been the days of the years of my life, and they have not attained to the days of the years of my life of my fathers in the days of their pilgrimage. So Jacob blessed Pharaoh and went out from before Pharaoh. And Joseph situated his father and his brothers and gave them a possession in the land of Egypt, in the best of the land, in the land of Ramesses, as Pharaoh had commanded. Then Joseph provided his father and his brothers and his father's household with bread according to the number of their families. Now there was no bread in all the land, for famine was very severe, and so that the land of Egypt and the land of Canaan languished because of the famine. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and the land of Canaan, for the grain which they brought to Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. So when the money failed in the land of Egypt and the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came to Joseph and said, give us bread, for why should we die in your presence? For the money has failed. Then Joseph said, give your livestock, and if you and I will give you bread for your livestock if the money is gone. So they brought their livestock to Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses, the flocks, the cattle, the herds, and all the donkeys. Thus he fed them with bread in exchange for all the livestock that year. When the year had ended, they came to him the next year and said to him, we will not hide from my lord that our money is gone. My lord also has all of our herds and livestock. There is nothing left in sight of the Lord but our bodies and our lands. Why should we die before your eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread, and our land will be and, and our land will be servants to Pharaoh. Give us seed that we may live and not die, that the land may not be desolate. Then Pharaoh bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh. Every man of the Egyptians sold his field because of the famine was so severe upon them. So the land became Pharaoh's. And as for the people, he moved them into cities from one end of the borders of Egypt to the other. Only the land of the priests he did not buy, for the priests had rations allotted to them by Pharaoh, and they ate their rations which Pharaoh gave them. Therefore they did not sell their lands. Then Joseph said to the people, indeed, I have bought you and your land this day for Pharaoh. Look, here is seed for you, and you shall go sow the land. And it shall come to pass in the harvest that you shall give 1/5 to the Pharaoh. 4 shall be your own, as seed for the field and for your food, and those for your household, as for food for your little ones. So they said, you saved our lives. Let us find favor in the sight of my Lord, and we will be Pharaoh's servants. And Joseph made it a law over the land of Egypt that day, to this day, that Pharaoh should have 1/5, except for the land of the priests only, which did not become Pharaoh's. So Israel dwelt in the land of Egypt, in the country of Goshen, and they had possessions there, and they grew and multiplied exceedingly. And Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 17 years. So the length of Jacob's life was 147 years. When the time drew near for Israel to must die, he called his son Joseph and said to him, now if I found favor in your sight, please put your hand under my thigh and deal kindly and truly with me. Please do not bury me in Egypt, but let me lie with my fathers. You shall carry me out of Egypt and bury me in their burial place. And he said, I will do as you have said. Then he said, swear to me. And he swore to him. So Israel bowed himself on the bed, bowed himself on the head of the bed. Matthew 15, 1 through 28. Then the scribes and the Pharisees who were from Jerusalem came to Jesus, saying, why do your disciples transgress the traditions of the elders? For they do not wash their hands when they eat bread. And he answered and said to them, why do you also transgress the commandments of God because of your tradition? For God commanded, saying, honor your mother and your father and your mother. And he who curses his father or mother, let him be put to death. But you say, whomever says to his father or mother, whatever profit you might have received from me as a gift is a gift from God, then he need not honor his father and mother. Thus you made the commandment of God of no effect to your tradition. Hypocrites, well did Isaiah prophesy about you, saying, these people draw near to me with their mouth, and they honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. And in vain they worship me, teaching as doctrines of the commandments of men. When he had called to the multitude to himself, he said to them, hear and understand, not what goes into the mouth defiles a man, but what comes out of the mouth, this defiles a man. Then his disciples came and said to him, do you know that the Pharisees were offended when they heard this saying? But he answered and said, every plant which my heavenly Father has not planted will be uprooted. Let them alone. They are the blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind leads the blind, both will fall into the ditch. Then Peter answered and said to him, explain this parable to us. So Jesus said, are you also still without understanding? Do you not yet understand that whatever enters the mouth goes to the stomach and is eliminated? But those things which proceed out of the mouth comes from the heart, and they defile a man. For out of the heart proceeds evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witnesses, blasphemies. These are the things which defile a man. But to eat with unwashed hands does not defile a man. And Jesus went out from there and departed to the region of Tyre and Sidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan came from the region and cried out to him, saying, have mercy on me, O Lord, son of David. My daughter is severely demon possessed. But he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and urged him, saying, send her away, for she cries out after us. But he answered and said, I was not sent except for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Then she came and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, it is not good to take the children's bread and throw it to the little dogs. And she said, yes, Lord, even the little dogs eat the crumbs which falls from their master's table. Then Jesus answered and said to her, O woman, great is your faith. Let it be as you desire. And her daughter was healed from that very hour. Psalms 19, 1 through 14. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament shows his handiwork. Day unto day utters speech, and night unto night reveals knowledge. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Their line is gone through all the earth, and the words to the end of the world. In them he set a tabernacle for the sun, which is like the bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoices like a strong man to run its race. Its rising is from one end of heaven, and its circuit to the other end, and there is nothing hidden from the heat. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold. Sweeter also is honey and the honeycomb. Moreover, by them your servant is warned, and in keeping them there is great reward. Who can understand his errors? Cleanse me from the secret faults. Keep back your servant also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over me. Then I shall be blameless, and I shall be innocent of great transgression. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. Proverbs 4:14 through 19. Do not enter the path of the wicked, and do not walk the way of the evil. Avoid it, do not travel on it. Turn away from it and pass on, for they do not sleep unless they have done evil, and their sleep is taken away unless they have made someone fall. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. But the path of the just is like a shining sun that shines ever brighter unto a perfect day. The way of the wicked is like darkness. They do not know what makes them stumble. Right. Well, I'll see y'all tomorrow.